Here's my current dust collection system. This consists of a Grizzly vacuum, which I've had for a long time now. And I had set up this garbage pail with this relatively inexpensive chip collector in the front end. The problem is, this thing still gets all the fine dust, in fact, quite a bit of it. And the bottom bag, actually it needs to be emptied now, is not simple and clean to go ahead and clean out. And the top gets covered with dust all the time. About every couple of days, I need to pop that down, get rid of all the loose dust that's in there in order to make sure this thing vacuums efficiently. In addition, I noticed that a lot of loose dust keeps coming out all over the place here. So even though this works, this unit here collects all these fine big chips, but not anything that's finer than that. And it's been a bit of a mess. So after 20 years, it's time for me to upgrade. And I have this Oneida new cyclone collection, which I'm going to be installing to replace that cheap garbage can solution I have. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and empty out the pail with the old shavings. And you can see in here, it's mostly bigger stuff and very, very little fine dust. The fine dust is what's going through to the other vacuum, which I'm going to go ahead and empty now as well. So to empty this, first I've got to loosen up this big strap here. Once it's loosened up, I'm going to finagle it up out of the way. And there are a couple cloth straps connected to the bag, which I need to loosen up. And once those are loose, this whole bag, which is full of nothing but this super fine dust, needs to come out and get emptied. It's this fine dust that's getting on absolutely everything out here. Even though it's got the bag and the filter, it still makes its way out. If I can capture that fine dust before it makes it to the vacuum, I'll have less to empty here, less of a mess. Obviously, all this fine dust is getting up in the air as well, and that's what I want to avoid. Hopefully, the next system that I put in will take care of that problem. So much fun! All right, the system's been set up. I am going to need to order a new 6-inch wide hose. The one I have was kind of short, and I've got a little kink there, which I hate because that's going to kill a lot of the airflow. So until I get a new one, this should still work just fine. And I've got my shop, as you can see, very wired up with the hoses. And let's go ahead and give this thing a test. Everyone should have a floor sweep. So I've completely emptied the drum from all of the floor sweeping that I tried out earlier. I'm going to do a real test now by seeing what gets collected in here after I do a lot of sanding. I've had this slab for years. Figure I might as well go ahead and sand it down now. It'll be a perfect test to see if all the fine dust gets picked up and collected before it makes it into the vacuum bags. All right, I've done a crap load of sanding. We're going to open this up and see if it's loaded with a lot of fine dust. If it is, obviously it's collecting a lot, which is awesome. There's no way to really tell whether the big vacuum is getting much or any of that. However, the old system really didn't have the super fine dust sitting in, very, very little of it. All I've done now is sand fine dust. This is loaded up with nothing but a lot of fine sand dust. It means it's actually working pretty well. Let's open it up and take a look. All right, looking in here, let's see what we've got. Definitely handfuls of fine dust. I don't really know exactly how much I sanded off that board, but I do know that having this fine dust in here is dust that did not make it to the big vacuum. So I can say after doing all that sanding of this piece, looking at all the fine dust that's sitting inside the collection drum right now, that cyclone Oneida dust deputy that I have, really picked up a lot of that fine dust, and it's keeping it from blowing into the shop and causing me to have to empty that big vacuum as often as I used to. So definitely a thumbs up, definitely worth the upgrade. And if you're looking to upgrade, I'd actually recommend this product. Seems to be working terrific.